All praises, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to Apostle Elders in New York, GMS. Salutations to you all around the world that's teaching truth, putting your lives on line for it. Shalom to you, Sirius Aqua. My name is Maya Ka'ala, Bun Gad, Wichita branch, a great millstone. We are not black Hebrew Israelites, we are Israelites. The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, speckled birds scattered abroad. Speckled birds are Israelites who look like other nations, but their fathers' paternal bloodline go back to the 12 patriarchs of Israel. We are not fitted with any black identity groups. We are not fitted with any French militant groups. We are not fitted with any Islamic groups. We are not fitted with any other Israelite groups. And we know we have MH. He's hurt because he's hurt because the video he's coming from in that video I proved that the so-called Negroes, Tribe of Judah, had Israelite congregations going back to the 19th century, all right, late 19th century and the early 20th century. Before Amapu in Peru had their Israelite congregation in 1958, so he's heard about that. All right, so he come on some more scoffers, And it says another thing: you are not a virgin since birth. You slept with women and defiled yourself with them. You are not the 144,000 elect. GMS support rates doctrine. That is not being all right. First of all, the rape doctrine is how to deal with rape in Deuteronomy 22:5. In case that's unfortunate situation happens, Okay, so when you read it, you go on there. If somebody, if a man grab a woman and she's married, she screams, she don't get put to death. All right, the man get put to death. If she's betrothed or engaged to a brother or married to a man, all right, that man get put to death. Because he violate that woman who was engaged to a man or married to a man. All right, he also committed adultery. All right, now if the young lady, if they found out that she's not married, he has to pay dowry, mean a down. He had to pay a payment to her father. Because back then, a young woman virgin was a valuable thing, because back then it was about preserving their nation, their father's house, talking about the nation Israel, right? In other nations, they do that because a young woman, her body could recover faster when she's in a young age, And back then, I'm talking about back then, ancient times, when a girl come on her period, more like around about like 12, she becomes a woman, Okay, so we're not gonna be doing that on this side, all right? It was totally different back then. Back then, we knew who he was. Our young people, they was educated. They weren't looking at Barney on TV, wearing Barney book bags, wearing Spider-Man book bags, and adored all that stuff. All right, they was raised to be men, and women back then. Women was educated, take care of the house and stuff, and they knew things, They knew the law, they knew the law of the lands where they was dwelling at. All right, so they was actually men and women when they reached their age, and they came to puberty. All right, so we don't endorse raping women and and particularly young females. All right, we don't endorse that in GMS. You know, we don't endorse raping anybody. All right. But anyway, so I'm gonna go to the comment. It says right here, you are not a virgin since birth. You slept with women, defile yourself with them. You're not the 144,000 the elect. You know, most I will. I hope I am. All right, so let's go with that. All right, so right here it said Revelation 14 verse 4. It said, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb. All right. Your Lamb's Yahweh shall whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and to the Lamb. All right, so let's go right here. All right, all right, let's go right here. All right, so let's see. All right, so look up virgin in Greek. Parthenos. All right.
Strong's G 3933. Parthenos. Parthenos.
So it's Parthenos. All right, let's go strong. See what it means. Virgin. All right, but let's go to the Dyer's Greek lexicon. All right. Let me see. All right. And virgin means young woman. All right. He's a young woman that in a sense in that movie what's that movie what's that movie with Denzel Washington was in it. I can't think of that movie. God dog. But in there it was a girl in there that he was that he had rescued. She was still a virgin. She was still fresh, even though she had sex, but she was still fresh. You know. All right. So anyway, it says she was still fresh. All right. But anyway, it says but I'm gonna go down to what it really means in Revelation 14 verse 4. All right. Let me get this. Where is it? Dog. Oh, right here. Yeah, number 2. It says right here, it says, a man who has abstained from all uncleanness and whoredom, intended on adultery, and so has kept his chastity. I'll read again, 2. It says, a man who has abstained from all uncleanness and whoredom, attended on idolatry, and so has kept his chastity. It says right here, Revelation 14 verse 4. All right, so you don't know what you're talking about, man. All right, homie. All right, so let's go right here. Proverbs 5 verse 1. It says, my son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thy ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold onto hell, to destruction. All right, no such thing as hell. It said, lest thou shalt ponder the path of life, her ways are movable, thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O children, talking about Israel, all right, nation Israel, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, come not nigh the door of her house. Lest thou give thy honor unto others, thy years unto the cruel. Let strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger, talking about the other nations, right? So it's the curses, man, all right? We disobey the law, statutes, commandments. All right, we get oppressed by the strangers, man. They be over us. All right. It says, um, and thou mourned at the last when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, how have I hated instruction, my heart despiseth reproof. Heart, tongue of the mind, destruction of the law, statute, commandments, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instruct me. I was almost in evil I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation assembly. Drink waters out thy own cistern, and running waters out of thy own well. Talking about these scriptures. All right. Let thy fountains, it says right here, let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Right. You're supposed to go out there and teach the truth, man. Right. This ain't talking about setting up water fountains on every corner, man. All right. This is talking about the knowledge of Yahweh. All right. His law, statute, commandments. All right. And the wisdom, knowledge of this book, right? Breaking it down for the people. You're supposed to be out there teaching. Okay. Let me get this right here. Fountain. Let's see. Fountain. All right, so let me see. Wars. Let's see. It says right here, Jeremiah 17, verse 13, it said, O Yahweh, the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed, and they depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken Yahweh, the fountain of living waters. All right. So who gave us the law, statute, commandments? Yahweh. All right. So his ways are what? The fountain of living waters, or his life. All right. Just like in Ezekiel 37, all right, the valley of dry bones. Like we remember when we start remembering who we are and follow law, statute, commandments, the best of our ability, have faith in Yahweh and knowledge his son, Yahweh Shai, guess what? We become alive again. All right. Let them be only thy own and not strangers with thee, all right, the other heathens. All right. So this, all right. And that's a cut to you Christians, man. All right, this truth is only for Israel. Let thy fountain be blessed. Rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Talking this truth. All right. Let her be as a loving hind and pleasant road. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her. All right. So there you go, man. All right. So all right, so virgins in Revelation 14, verse 4 is talking about the elect of Israel who won't defile themselves with other false doctrines such as Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Voodoo, okay, or stuff you make up themselves. All right, you know. All right, so that's what that's talking about. Now, let's go to this other comment. All right, so it's right here. It says, the Bible says Judah will know how to build tents. Show me one, and he can't get this guy, man. This guy, idiot. No Canaanite mud hut eater. Oh my God, it's not talking about. You meant N-O, no, man, not K-N-O. W. All right. So I'm gonna show the tent. All right. So one of the slaves that came over here, one group of people, group of tribes that came over here, the Israelite tribes came over here, are the Fulani. The Fulani. All right. So I'm gonna get right here. This is from the website blog Louisiana Historical and Cultural Vistas. All right, what made the slaves in colonial Louisiana look like? Okay, it said 2/3 of slaves in 1790s in Saint Dominique were born on the African continent. It was almost all Negres. All right, there's nowhere for Negroes. All right. At the turn of the 16th century, well, all of them were Negroes, right? Because Negroes are not Hamites. You look at the definition of Ham in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, the oldest version, all right? It's going to tell you Ham, the progenitor of the dark race, is not the Negroes, all right? So that cancel out that the so-called Negroes are Canaanites, all right? So right here it says, at the turn of the 16th century, Portuguese began introducing Negres in Americas who were originally from around the present-day Senegal, which may include Moreau, remind us a small number of Moors or Arabs. We all Moors are Israelites, and they wasn't Arabs, right? Who live along the Senegal River. But the Moors may not have been Arabs in a way made people think of Arabs phenotypically today. For example, Cornelius Franciscus de Paul, a Dutch philosopher, geographical diplomat at court of Frederick the Great of Prussia, noted in 1772, told the Moors were Negre-like with kinky hair, skin black as soot, meaning dark brown, right, or ashy black. All right, Khalil D. Cyril Bistre, right. It said a century later, Filippo Sassetti observed Moors whose complexion was halfway between the dark olive hue gypsy and a black skin African. All right. All right. Let's talk about dark skin because we know they're not Africans. All right. First-hand accounts. The Gypsy are Israelites. All right. It says first-hand accounts of the Moors seem to show apparent the Moors were overwhelmingly of a brown and black complexions. Right. Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9. All right. So they had like a brown color. Then you had real dark brown. Right. Real chocolate brown, man. All right. Let's see right here. So I'm gonna skip down there. You can read that. I'll read that to yourself. Go to Fulani. It's a Moral D. St. Mary went on to describe the Fulani, which is called Fule, Fube, Pules, or Pulars. Also neighbors of the Senegalese and Wolof, but more from the interior region of the region as being similar to the Senegalese in height. Only in complexion wise, theirs were reddish rather than ebony, meaning ruddy. All right, it said Hall has found 195. All right, I mean like a reddish brown color. All right, mean brown. All right, it said Hall has found 195 Fulani identified slaves in Louisiana documents. All right, so you bring out the let's go to the let's see. Let's go right here. All right, this is from the book, the African American Slave Drama, page 69. All right, so let's go right here. It says many descendants of Abraham followed Moses from Egypt, but some remained in Egypt while others migrated southwest according to Joseph's wisdom. But you know that's true. All Jakes they followed Moses. It said another scholar, Edwin D. Moore, identified the Fulani of West Africa as lineal descendant of Haikos and Hebrew migrants. All right, talking about the Israelites. All right. It says the migrating Hebrew explain why traces of Hebrew culture can be found throughout West, Central, and East Africa. Many scholars believe the ancestors of the Fulani, Ashanti, Ewe, Yoruba, Bantu, and other peoples were in fact early Hebrew Israelites. All right, it said many Israelites were driven out of their land by the Romans in 70 70 CE, therefore migrate gradually to the surrounding nation of Africa. We know that many West Africans, all right, when they talk about Africa, talking about just like here in America, Jake considered American. So Jake living in Africa, they still what Africans, all right? But we know they're not. They are not of Hamitic descent. They just happen to be Israelites that live on that continent, all right? So they are Israelites, all right, not Hamites, all right? So right here it says, especially the Ashantes are direct descendants of ancient Hebrew because the strong Hebrewism that have been identified as Ashante tribal customs, including similar sounding words, similarities in marriage, childbirth, customs, observance of Shabbat, well as the name Ashante, right? But anyway, the point right here says the Fulani West Africa are as lineal descendants of the Hyksos and Hebrew migrants. We know they are the Israelites, all right? Nico right here said, many scholars believe ancestors of the Fulani, all right? Right here it said, Fulani, Ashanti, Ua, Yoruba, and Bantu, and other people were in fact early Hebrew Israelites, all right? And this is the reason why Esau tried to attach himself to the Fulani, all right? Please forgive me, I did this research like, oh my God, like 11 years ago, so I forgot the name of this book, all right? But anyway, it says, page 5, it said the inhabitants of West Africa. It said most of the inhabitants of West Africa are normally described as Negro stock, though on the desert fringe there are Berber, Tuareg, and Moors who are Caucasoid stock. All right, so we, all right, so this is Esau. We all know that Esau trying with trick with his tricknology. All right. So we know there are Jakes among the Berber, Tuareg. All right, and we know the Moors are Israelites. All right, who are Caucasoid stock. All right, so it's Esau trying to insert himself into our history. All right, because he know that we are of Shemitic descent. All right. All right, and again, we all know Negro. All right, look at the definition of Ham in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. It says Ham, progenitor of the dark races, such as the Egyptians, the Canaanites, etc. But it says not the Negro. So we know that the so-called Negro America are not Hamites. All right. Then right here, continue on page 6. It says, has been a great deal intermingling between the two major groups. Because the same people. It's a one product intermingled have been the light-skinned Fulani, and not all Fulani are light-skinned. All right. Fulani come in very skin complexions, all right, who have Caucasoid features. All right, so some of the Fulani have sharp noses, thin lips. Some had near straight hair, some had straight hair. All right, and had cheekbones. All right, this is what Esau tried to attach himself to his people, because Esau knows these people are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Okay, so we established that Fulani are Israelites. They've been brought over here according to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Okay, so it's a fact they were brought over here as slaves. All right, now he says, show me what he's saying here. Where that's at. All right, so he said, show me one. He said, the Bible said Judah would know how to build tents. Show me one. Okay, I'm going to show you one. All right, I'm going to show you a riot. Just like the old school people say. All right. So, just bear with me, y'all can. Alright, so right here, pin interest. It says this tent is the dwelling of Fulani people. Alright. You can see it right here. There go the Fulani man that had. There go the tent right there. Tent. Okay. Tent. All right. Some be tents, some build huts. All right. Okay. Go Fulani hut. All right. Hut, tent. What makes a difference? All right. To show they could build it. All right. Some build houses. All right. Okay. So, um, you can try all you want. All right. You're not going to. Nobody's going to overcome this truth. All right. The truth is from Yahweh himself, man. All right. The so-called Negroes and in the Americas are the legit descendant of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? You can't get around it. Look at him. He got fringes. Like, yeah, he got fringes on this outfit. Oh man. Let's have some fun. He said the Wolof. Let's see what the Wolof were. Drawings. They mentioned Wolof in that article. Let's see, drawings of Wolof. Look who he got on. Fringes on this outfit. Got the beard. Yeah, boy. She's smoking a pipe. And I show you all this for, but I'm just gonna show it, right? She had fringes. Why they got fringes? Because they are the Israelites. Alright. They are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. That's why they wearing fringes. Let's see here some more. Wolf man. All right. All right. So this is it, and I hope you've been edified. The mic been dropped. Shalom.